one of the most destructive things in a business, right? If you're running a business or you're selling a product, is not knowing your worth. And when people say you don't know your worth, they always assume that it means that you're more valuable than you actually are and you don't know it. And it could mean that, but in a lot of cases, it means you think you're more valuable than you actually are. And when you think you're more valuable than you actually are, you are waiting for someone to pay you an amount of money that is not going to pay you an amount of money that's not going to come, right? That you're expecting someone to come and give you this amount of money, and you are not going to move until that amount of money comes. So not only are you not judging that correctly, and you are not making yourself able to get a deal, but you're also hurting yourself on the other end because you feel like, well, they're trying to take money away from me, right? Because I'm worth more than that. Now you're incorrect, but also you're not working. You're not selling anything. So you're also losing money on that end, right? You're losing money by not being productive, by not doing your job, not doing what makes you money. Not knowing your value and what you bring to the table is almost impossible to continue and do business and being productive. And that is what Teofimo's doing. Teofimo Lopez thinks because he won these fights, right? He has a win over Lomachenko, right? Great win. He has a win over Josh Taylor. Great win. Bouts in 2 weight classes. One of the best fighters today. But he thinks that should increase his pay to the level of stars like Tank Davis. He thinks that what you achieve is the equivalent to popularity. That the guys that achieve the most in boxing should be the guys that make the most in boxing. But that's not the way it works. And the truth is, that's not the way anything works. I mean, movies that win Academy Awards, right? There's movies that win Academy Awards that most of the world has never seen. There's movies that when you're watching the Academy Awards and it's nominated, you're like, what the hell is this about? Because you've never heard of it. Because that's not the way the world works. It's not about what you achieve or what you feel at a certain level. Those are 2 different things. And you have to realize that. And when you have a manager or an agent or someone that's managing your business, they're there to get the most value for you, right? But they're also there to let you know where you stand in the business. They're there to let you know, okay, this guy does this, you do this. People that do this get around this amount of money. This is much value. This is where we can go from here. We can build ourselves to get here. This is the steps we have to take. But if no one has that talk with him, and I always say that some boxers need better mirrors than us. Maybe they don't own mirrors, right? They're not looking in the mirror, so maybe they don't own mirrors, right? Because they can't see who they really are. And as far as a fighter, but it's also as far as how much of a big name you are in boxing. No one's being honest with Teofimo, and he's not being honest with himself. Just because you have these wins doesn't mean you're going to get paid what Tank gets paid. And that might not seem fair, but that's the way it's always been. And not just in boxing, but in everything. Daniel Day-Lewis is a better actor than The Rock. Daniel Day-Lewis ain't going to get paid what The Rock gets paid. You might feel you accomplish more than Tank Davis. I would agree with you. But you ain't going to get paid what Tank got paid. If you do not know what you're actually worth, you are going to hurt yourself as far as you're either going to lose money, giving up money because people aren't paying you correctly, or you're going to lose opportunities because you're waiting on someone to pay you something you're not worth. You have to know your value. Teofimo does not know his value. So he will continue to hurt himself when he should keep building off this Josh Taylor win, when he should have kept building off this Lomachenko win. These guys are waiting on something that's not going to come. And I think it's because boxing is a hard business. And everybody's kind of looking for their cash out. Everyone's kind of looking like, hey, I don't really feel like training like this anymore. I really don't feel like taking shots like this anymore. When am I going to start getting life-changing money? It's not that simple. You have to raise your popularity in a complete different way than it's just fighting in the ring. Deuces.